Hi guys, I have a coloring and card tutorial for you today, and today I'm using Vampire Owen, and it's a sped up coloring because it would be a very long video otherwise, but I'm going to try to get a couple of real-time coloring videos into here, mostly these cute little ones because they go most faster. But for Mr. Owen here today I am using the end grays, mostly just the end grays for the whole image. I'm going to use a couple of colors to pop, but mostly just the end grays. And I'm using the N4, 2 and 0 for his skin to make it the lighter part of the grays I'm working with. I am working a lot with this image for blending because black is one of those colors that I have a tendency not to blend perfectly, so I'm actually practicing some blending here, and this is also one of the reasons why he got all black, and that a vampire usually is black. I like the black vampires. I'm actually not using black though. I'm just using the neutral grays, but you could just as much use the cool or the warm grays or the toner grays, whatever gray works. I, however, felt that this gray fitted better with the papers that I'm using than any of the other ones that I have in my stash, and it's all a personal feeling. I do have all the pens, and therefore I have a tendency to actually use all the pens because I don't want them to feel like I'm neglecting them. I have to take care of all of them at the same time, you know. I'm doing some pleats here. I'm doing pleats. I try to make them look like they are a little bit rounded, and I've tried to put darker shadows behind him so that it looks like his clothes are that you can see the dimension, because it would be darker further away and lighter closer to him, as that is how the light would fall for him. I have done so that the sun is coming from the upper left corner something, or it's not directly from the upper left corner. You would think that it would be on the upper left side, but kind of where you are sitting when you are coloring. That is how I think the sun is falling, and that is how I'm trying to get the light to fall on all of his clothes that I'm coloring. And when it comes to blending, because blending is very important, there are two things you really need to two parts in blending that you want to look at. One of them is papers. You have to kind of figure out what paper works good for you. I have two favorite ones. One is the Make It Crafty one, and the other one is the Nina Solar White cardstock. Both of them are good in their own way, and it depends on how your technique is, how much color you put down. It's a lot of different things there, which paper you will choose in the end. So I recommend buy small packs of a couple ones. There are a lot of different Copic coloring papers out there, so you can you have Copic's Express Set. You have, I think, Hammer Mill 110 is also one of those that is used pretty often, laser print paper. So there's a whole bunch out there. You can try them out, but what you want to think about is you want it to be cardstock, so you want it to be a little bit heavier, and you want it to be a smooth cardstock, because the rougher it is, the less dense it is, and the more the color will bleed. So the denser it is, the less it will bleed. So there's the paper thing. And when it comes to the coloring, you want to be able to keep your paper wet, and this also helps with the denser paper, and therefore you want to work in small sections at a time. Here is my small color popping parts. I chose a purple that matches the paper for his jacket and his bow, and I chose an orange for the pumpkin. And one day I'm gonna go through how I actually choose my colors together with my papers. I'm cutting him out as I usually do. As you see, I cut first a rough cut around him. Because if you have a big sheet of paper when you are cutting, not only is it harder to move around the paper, but also your scissor can get stuck into the paper. So I do a rough cut so that it's easier, that the scissor glides better. And then I use my Martha Stewart craft knife to cut that little hole, because I like how that knife lies in my hand when I'm cutting. So I thought I'd show you a little bit how I think. I find this stripy paper, and that was kind of the color scheme I wanted to go after. And now I'm trying to figure out this image. Is it big enough or is it small enough? And what kind of base card do I want? I have a tendency to go between two of the sizes, A2 and 4-bar card. And today I'm going to do a 4-bar card because he was little and I had a little sentiment I wanted to use with him. But to get him grounded on the paper, you can either do that with having a paper that have horizontal lines, so it looks like he's standing on one of them. But I wanted to use this paper vertically, so then I'm adding this little grassy bit underneath, it's just a green hash kind of paper, but I kind of thought about it as green. Is another part of that paper. The paper is called Build a Scene Halloween, and all the details are down below in the description, but also on my blog where you can find more pictures. I'm using some Basil black cardstock to matte all of my parts, because I like that kind of how that looks. Also, I'm do my own card bases. So this is 7 inches wide, and I'm score it at the 4-bar mark, which is 5.5. It's 4 7/8 high, because that is the size. I am using this Booyah stamp set from Lawn Fawn for the sentiment, which says Happy Haunting. I thought I would let it say Happy Halloween, but it actually didn't fit across the card. So I chose to put Happy Haunting instead, because it fitted that also. I'm using some Versamark ink, because I'm gonna heat emboss this in white. You can use any kind of pigment ink, but I like the Versafine. And I had my little powder tool first, and this is to reduce oils and other things so that the white embossing powder just stick on the text. And then I'm putting it together. I have cut the little Happy Haunting to a strip that is as wide as the card. And then I'm using my Crafter's Companion tape runner, and I'm adding all of these little things together. Also, one of the things I like to do is leave a little border underneath, so you see the pattern paper underneath, because I think that gives it an extra dimension. And then I had some 3M Scotch foam tape beneath my little character, which I then let kind of stand on top of that sentiment. So it's grounded, the image. It doesn't look like he's out flying. And that was the card for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just comment down below. All the details are also down below. Here is 2 other videos. That is a Halloweeny one that I did a couple of weeks ago, and one that I did last year. So thank you again, and I see you later. Bye!